Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
There you go.
Check
That's
1 2.
me. Hello and welcome to this week's show. I'm sat here with a very amazing man. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to get straight into this one because I've got so much to ask you.
It's exciting.
Yeah, you wait. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the amazing, the very talented, the Brit nominated.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Amazon
research.
top 10.
Yeah. How do you remember all of this?
Mate,
I'm
I've
impressed.
heard a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Thomas Cameron.
Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. No, you've got to clap yourself. Come on.
There we go.
Why
Feels
not?
wrong. It feels wrong.
Mate, it's so lovely to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you, and finally I get to sit next to you, and you've done so much.
Oh, well, thank you. And so have you as well. So I've followed your stuff, so it's great to meet you as well.
Thank
Finally
you so
meet.
much,
Yeah,
mate. Let's do it
honestly.
officially.
Yeah, let's
Thank
do
you
it
so
properly.
much.
It's lovely to meet
Really
you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you for having me.
And do you know what? I absolutely want to talk about your career and what you do, because you've had so many amazing things happen to you. So you clearly have a huge passion for what you do, which is what I love about people.
Yeah.
I love it when people have a passion. But I'm really interested in what inspires people. So I'm going to ask you a couple of deep questions. I'm going straight in.
Oh, yeah, you go for it.
First of all, love the shirt.
Thank you very
You're
much.
beautiful,
Go
beautiful
make
man.
an effort. Yeah, I love that.
Question number 1. What gets you up in the morning?
Oh, well, it is what I do. It really is. Yeah, I love what I do. And you mentioned the passion thing, and that is so true. And I just love going out there and performing, and everything that comes with that. Because obviously people see the performance, they see the show.
Yeah.
But there's so much more, which you know perfectly,
Of course,
behind that.
absolutely.
Like, so much more. So it's the things like getting the dates booked, the rehearsals, the kind of just everything in between and stuff like that. So I just love what I do. Super passionate, and that's what just gets me up to think. Right, I want to get a tour booked, or I want to do this, or I want to record this song. And I just have a goal. I think is a big one as well, like by the end of this time I want to do this, and that's just what gets me going. I just want to say, right, got to get that done by the end of October, for example. Yeah. And that will get me up all
So
the time.
you sound really disciplined, because discipline is a really difficult thing to have in your life. Like, I'm kind of new to this. For me, I just go with the flow, I just do my thing, but I'm slowly learning that being disciplined is a really important thing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And it's a hard thing, like you say, when it's not just like 9 to 5 job, you go here, you do this. With us, it's like you might be one week you're all over the country, and then next week you're just in a studio, whatever it is. So that discipline's super hard, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, it's true. I think I've always been like it, and I'm really driven, and that's just because of the love of what I do.
Man, we do a hobby that people pay us for.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, we're lucky.
And you've got to be grateful, and you've got to give everything, haven't you? Because
absolutely.
you don't really get much in this business without putting it in. You
Mate,
get out what you put in.
It's very cutthroat, this business, isn't it?
Is.
It really absolutely can be.
Yeah, it really is.
So what kind of got you into singing? How long have you been doing it for? Is it something you've done since you were a kid, or is it like you sing in the shower?
Yeah, no,
What's
it
your
really
story,
was.
mate?
Well, I started off, I talk about this a lot, but I always used to go, my mum used to drive me to the bus. I used to catch a bus to go to school, and the radio was on all of the time. So that people say, well, my family aren't particularly, none of them are professional musicians. Or
None of your family do it?
Nobody's done it before. All love music. And
Wow.
somebody's played the piano, or somebody might have played a bit of guitar or sang
Yeah.
in choirs, but nobody's ever done music before professionally. So it didn't really come from that, or seeing anybody saying, oh, my mum's a singer, so I've toured with, watching her tour, I want to do it. So it kind of came from just having music around and sort of being, and the more I speak to other musicians as well, that's been a really common thing, that they kind of hear music in the house, or they go to loads of concerts because their family loves music, and then without realising, you suddenly just become absorbed into it all and just love it. So that was really where it started. I said, we used to have the radio on to go to the bus early in the morning, and me and Mum used to sing, and Mum's got a great voice. She'll be listening, she'll be like,
Oh no!
No, I don't. She's bright red right now, but she really,
Mum.
but yeah, she really does have a good voice, and that was really a big thing for me, because having that music on, we used to sing and we used to harmonise, and I remember we used to sort of sing out a tune together on purpose. I think it was hilarious.
Yeah,
which is actually quite hard to do.
It is, absolutely.
So that was where it started, and I thought I really like this singing, and I thought, I want to do a bit more of this.
So were you listening to like all sorts of music? Was it just classical you were listening to?
No, it was more pop, really, like the
Okay.
the typical radio station that was on every morning, breakfast show, and just the charts, really. And that's what I used to listen to. Loads of 80s music as well. I'm a huge fan of 80s music.
Me too.
Yeah, I love it.
Are you an 80s child?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you just love it?
No, just love it. Yeah,
Okay.
my mum loves 80s as well. So
Yeah.
I think, again, it's one of those things where it's just like saturated, and just hear it and you just love it. But yeah, that was kind of where the love started. I thought I really like this. And I think early on, I sort of people could see that passion. I was really lucky that I was surrounded by people that supported it, because that's also important, isn't it? To know that people to go,
yeah, absolutely. I say this all the time. So my family, sorry, let's just talk about me now.
Yeah, enough about me. For goodness.
My family, when we grew up, we were very poor. We never went on holiday. And when I first found magic for me, and I told my parents I want to be a magician, they were really supportive and said, "Fine, if that's what you want to do, you do it." Amazing. And I see so many people struggle with what they love nowadays because they don't get the support behind them, and that's a really strong thing. So I find in that respect, we're really lucky to have the family we have.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important, isn't it? Because
absolutely, encouragement is the most important thing.
Yeah, and you're not kind of surrounded by everybody doing that kind of thing. You know, it's not the standard, conveyor belt. Right now, you're going to go off and do magic, or now you're going to go off and be a singer. So when there's not other people doing it around you that much, it's so much harder, isn't it? Because you feel like I was the only one that was kind of pursuing that kind of thing for me. So everybody else was going off and doing degree or doing this and doing this, but I was like, right, I want to go and sing and be on stage. Wow. And I was like the lonesome person wanting to do that. So it is hard. So to have the encouragement is good, and I had obviously family were amazing with that, but teachers as well, amazing teachers.
Wow.
And kind of why I got into it, not just singing to the radio, and did it a little bit more, is I had a teacher at school, and she used to do the drama as well, like the school plays, you know? And I was a little bit distracted at school. That's what I like to say. There's no bad behaviour involved.
Here we go.
Yeah. I was like definitely distracted. I think I've got
the best way to say
it. I perfected what it was.
You were bored, weren't you, Thomas? You were bored.
Yeah. I just wanted to be singing. Now I know what it was. But it was funny. So I can remember her coming up to me. She obviously saw something in me. I mean, at that point, I hadn't sung, or it was weird. I don't really know where she'd seen it, but I think I saw it in the playground. I was on the steps doing performances. So I remember my friends used to sit and watch, and I'd do this performance on the steps.
Brilliant.
It wasn't particularly singing, but just I can't even remember what it was, but it was just a performance, and it was so funny. And but she must have seen that. I don't know. She'd just seen something, but she was like, if you can promise, you can really focus for me and really knuckle down. We're going to do Joseph in the next couple of months for this year's play, and I'll give you the part of Joseph. She knew straight away to give me that kind of direction. She was looking back at it now, obviously I realise at the time I was like, oh yeah, whatever, But now you realise, don't you? And she did. She stuck with it, and I was Joseph in the school play at about sort of 10 years old. So that was like a huge.
Mate, amazing.
That was when I realised that it's like, actually I want to do this not just for fun and sing to the radio, like you say. I want to properly
and it's tough to find that. It's tough to decide you want to do that at school, because school is a cruel place to be.
It really is.
It really is. Kids are worse than adults.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Aren't they, when you're growing up?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
It can be the most. Yeah, the harsh.
So I guess that was then your first step into musical theatre.
Yeah, that was kind of when I saw that, and obviously I was doing a lot of acting at that point, and trying to remember lines. I remember that was awful, remembering lines, and
What do you do to right? So I have this problem.
Yeah,
that's when you get given a script. That is the worst moment. Is when you see how thick that book is, and you ain't got long to memorise it. Do you have any techniques for that?
Yeah, well, I haven't. So more lyrics for me nowadays, because I used to do more of the acting, but I kind of just fell in love with the singing more. But yeah, I think putting things to a tune is a really good way of doing it as well.
Wow.
I've heard that before, and I have actually done that with lines. So if I've done a bit of acting here and there with the music. And because if you think about it, when you songs, you can remember words. It's like, easy. How can I do that? I don't even hardly know the song. I've heard it on the radio, just driving around, and now I know all the words.
Wow.
So it's I think it's something to do with your brain. If you've got that tune, if you put something to a tune, you can kind of memorize the words. And that's
a good tip. I'm going to keep this on.
I can't take the credit for it.
That's a really good way.
Pass it on.
Do they call that? I think that's called mnemonics.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's
Mnemonica.
I think it is. Yeah, but it's just I can see how it works, because like we were saying, you can remember songs, even songs from 30 years ago. You can remember the lyrics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever, but you can't remember what happened last week. And it's just how does that
music
work?
has this real strange way of of connecting people and making you remember things. And I've always said music's a bit like magic. Right? Because magic, there's a moment in magic where your heart skips a beat and you go, I can't believe I've seen that. And music does the same thing. True. To this day, sometimes I'll hear a song and it will take me back to when I was in this place with this person, or it's a really special thing. Music is I think loved by everyone, but still underrated.
Yeah, no, really,
I really believe
so
that.
True. Yeah, and I think what's happened recently has made people realise a little bit more, hasn't it? Sort of how much they did. Not being able to go to live music and think they thought,
oh man, of course.
Yeah, I quite like doing
it's
that.
Special,
you don't take it for granted. Yeah, and it is. That's a great point you touched on there with the idea of you can connect to sense. You know, people even say that. I mean, I've been talking to people and they say, oh, I remember when I heard that song, and they can literally describe like how they feel, what they were like, what they were wearing, how they felt.
You could smell the grass if you're in a field.
That was it.
Absolutely.
It's just mad, isn't it?
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's really beautiful. And again, I think music is still underrated. I don't think, you know, I speak to people all the time and they only like one specific type of music.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and I feel sorry for that person.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I think you should have in your playlist, you should at least have one heavy metal song, one classical song. You should have a drum and bass song. You should have one of everything. Yeah. I think music is a really special thing.
Yeah, that's definitely like the best advice I've had from, you know, really successful musicians as well. Like, I've been lucky to speak to some great people, and like all of them have said, it's just, you've got to listen to nothing's off limits. Just listen to everything, because even if it's something you don't enjoy, you can like take inspiration from that, and you do, without even realizing. It's that whole idea, going back to, you know, how I got into music, that kind of just absorbing what's around you. And I think you just take things from different places and different genres and everything. Yeah, it's amazing.
So who are your inspirations? And not necessarily in music, in life. Like who do you aspire to, or who motivates you?
Yeah, well, I think a big one that people know that follow me, you just know straight away. There's one lady who is actually a musician that I saw again really early on. So it was all a big bit of a whirlwind. I did the Joseph thing, and then my mun was a huge fan. Mum comes back into it again. Paloma Faith.
Wow.
Just completely wacky, amazing. And I can remember, it's another funny story, but Mum had tickets. She was a big fan of like her first album, loved it, and I didn't know of her at all at that point.
Right.
I would have been about 13, so a couple of years after the sort of Joseph thing, and it was after school. It was like a school night, you know. So Mum was like, "Yeah, but come on down, you're gonna love it." And again, must have seen that, you know, that it would inspire me.
Yeah.
Must have thought, if he sees a lot, because I've never been to a live show and a live gig, so she was like, if he sees that, it might really inspire him. So I can remember going down and I was so grumpy. I can remember it. You know, like, I've got sore legs, like I've been at school all day, I've had PE, like that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And so like anti it, which was awful. But Mum was like, come on down, and she, like I say, big fan. And but I could just remember that it was Paloma Faith, you know, like a black curtain, really understated to start with, just a black curtain across the stage. It was in Plymouth and the pavilions, and this music started, and it was, I can, again, and the reason I'm telling it in so much detail is because I can remember like all of the feelings, everything, because it's just like that, what we were talking about. And it started with like spoken word, like in her like Cockney accent, you know. She was like reading some sort of word about her life and stuff like that. And then suddenly this music hit, and you like felt it inside, and she appeared out of it, just literally opened these black curtains, walked out, and it was just her in the spotlight with these massive gold pedals. And she sang this first song, and it was literally like that for the whole 2-hour show. Wow. And it went from me being like, oh, I don't want to do it, it's a school night, life's so hard, you know, to this is the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. So it really was. I remember it like yesterday, and you know, that was a long time ago. So Paloma Faith's a big one, and not just her music, because obviously her music's very different to what I do, but just like how she is as well, you know, the stage presence and how funny she is, and how she just doesn't worry about what other people think as well.
Absolutely, that she's so unique, and I've always said, man, you know, even if what you do as whether you're a singer, a dancer, a comedian, or a magician, if you're not very good at these things, I don't think it matters. I think it's about how much you love it, and that accounts for everything. So I've always said. It was at this point I decided to tell an inspirational story, although in hindsight it was pretty crude and rude, so I decided to cut it out. But don't worry, all you need to know is that it's a story about confidence. Just be confident in what you do. And I know I'm not telling you to go and do that. Yeah. I just mean, like, if you have confidence in what you're doing, sometimes it will come across in the right way. And I know that's a really sorry, Dave. Sorry about that. And I know it's a real stupid thing to say, but my point is, like, I've seen people who I wouldn't class as a very good singer. I've seen lots of really bad singers, but they walk on stage and they really just love what they do, and they have this passion. And eventually they get given these opportunities and they become amazing. I think confidence is the most important thing in any form of entertainment. You just have to really believe in yourself.
Yeah, no, it's so true, isn't it? I think, and you as an audience member, and I think I've seen other shows, you realise that if somebody comes on and they're confident, you kind of relax. You think, okay, right, it's going to be a good show. Like, they know what they're doing. If you can tell that kind of, that there's that feeling of like, oh, they're a bit worried. They don't know what they're doing. They're not rehearsed or whatever. You sit there and you feel a little bit uneasy, don't you?
Of course. You're like,
oh, yeah, without even realising.
Absolutely.
So, and that's something I've always been taught from if you get across that you're loving it and that you're confident in what you're doing and you're happy with what you're doing, then the audience are already on your side straight away.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, 100 million %. I'm sorry about that analogy.
No, that's great.
Kind of just threw the interview a bit there with my very inspirational story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that for a while, I think.
I can imagine when I look at famous comedians, people like Jimmy Carr. I can imagine him being in a club and people hated him.
Oh yeah,
but you could tell that he loved what he did and he stuck with it. And now look at him. And I can imagine that being the same with Paloma Faith.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She was wacky. She was unique. She dressed a bit weird. Yeah. And now she's amazing. Yeah, everyone loves her.
That's so true. Yeah, I know. This one of her music videos. It's so clever. Actually, it's showed her what she was saying. It took her 10 years to get any notice whatsoever. 10 years she stuck with it. And the music videos like her out in the rain with like under her umbrella, like absolutely soaked, handing out leaflets with like Paloma Faith here tonight, and then people were just taking them and like chucking them on the floor.
Wow.
And like obviously like it's just she was trying to show what she'd actually been through.
Yeah.
People were not interested whatsoever. But now, like you say, I mean, she's just taken over the world, isn't she? So
yeah, absolutely,
amazing. Man. Yeah, that's great.
Oh, I apologise about that one. Okay,
no,
so
right. I love that.
So moving on very quickly. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So, are you married?
No.
You're not married? Do you have a girlfriend? You have a boyfriend?
Yeah,
do you have a partner?
Yeah. No, not married. No. So a lot of people think I'm older than I am as well. It's an interesting comment. Yeah, I don't know why I brought that up, but yeah. A lot of people, I don't know.
I think you've got quite a young face.
Yeah, do you think so? I think it's just like the way I am, I guess.
Yeah.
As well. But yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know how old do you think I am?
I'm going to guess 12, 13.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess. No, I would guess... Oh, this is a really good question.
Yeah, I don't know why
I should have researched this.
Yeah, I've just flipped it around.
Yeah, you have. Oh, God.
Okay. I don't know why I've done this.
I'm going to say 20... Oh, that's good. 30... No, 20...
Yeah. No, I just thought you were like going, yeah.
28.
Oh, yeah. No, 22.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, people do think you're older than you are then. You're right. Oh,
no, but you were very kind.
You're
like
only
that.
22.
Yeah. I don't know why
wow, that's amazing. And you've done so much, man.
Yeah, well, that's why people... Yeah, I'm just so driven, I suppose, and just like trying to squeeze everything in as much as I can. But yeah, no, it's funny because when people sort of... It's a big thing that always comes up. They just assume I'm older. So,
right.
It's really funny.
22.
Yeah, I don't feel it, though.
Well done, man.
Well done for surviving.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. 22 years.
So what gave you? Because I know you're mainly known really for being a tenor.
Yeah.
Not to book. I mean, as a job.
Cheap.
Like it's very cheap. Yeah. So what was your turning point for that? What made you go from like singing pop music and doing this kind of stuff and acting to become like a tenor? What was that? Was it just the way your voice grew?
It was, yeah. Like my voice kind of lent itself because, like I say, before I obviously did the Joseph, but then I started gigging at sort of 13, 14 years old and started singing in everywhere you could,
Wow.
And I was singing pop stuff, Coldplay and Ed Sheeran, anything that people wanted to hear. So the transition really happened around then, and it was really weird actually. I had a vocal coach, my vocal coach at the time, so I started doing singing lessons after the Joseph thing. So my family were like, I think you should do some singing lessons. You obviously love it, and it'd be great for you to kind of learn a bit more about it. So I started doing that, and then I was doing sort of pop stuff with that vocal coach, and then she went on maternity leave, and then another lady came in and covered.
Yeah.
And then she was straight away like, oh, I'm so excited, somebody with like a classical voice. So I was like, oh, who's that in the school, She was talking about me, which was hilarious.
Wow.
So that's kind of, and my voice just naturally, I had like this vibrato in my voice that it just started to just be really open and rich, like to that style,
Yeah.
I didn't realise it, and it wasn't like I was listening to like Andrea Bocelli and trying to imitate him or whatever. It literally just did it itself. It's funny, isn't it? And it was just
I was seen online your voice was described as velvet.
Yeah.
That's a great description.
Yeah,
for
I love
a voice.
that. And the reason that we use that is because it's everybody, any review or anything, they always say velvet, like it's weird.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah, I like it though. Yeah,
right.
But it's quite a deep voice as well, because it's hilarious on radio. Like people even text in, like, if the age thing comes up, they're like, oh, we thought he's much older, because if it's radio, they only hear my singing voice.
Yeah,
which makes sound a lot older. So it's funny. But yeah, that was kind of when I noticed it, and I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I wasn't quite sure to start with. I started singing that kind of stuff, and when you just like you say, that passion, you just think, oh wow, like I just felt like so free in a way, like I just sang it and I thought, whoa, I've never felt that. I was like shaking afterwards, and I was just like buzzing, and I was like, whoa, that was something else, singing that kind of thing.
Wow.
And I just stuck with it, and that's kind of what I've done ever since.
Are you,
really.
because you're only 22, are you worried that your voice will continue to change, or?
Yeah, well, because I know the man's voice doesn't really mature till sort of 36, I don't think, in singing terms.
Oh, really? Wow.
So it's changing all the time. It's so funny and what I loved it, and they're amazing, that fans that come along to it, say I normally do a tour every summer, and they'll come along and they're like, oh my goodness, your voice has like got more rich and deeper again. And they're really enjoying the journey because they know that I'm younger. They've seen me tour since I was like 19.
Yeah.
And now I've just done a sort of a smaller summer tour, and they've come again for like the third time or whatever, and they're like, oh, this time it was this, and you did this, and it's really lovely. It's like they're kind of following the journey of the voice developing, so it's nice, and it's good when people understand that as well, because obviously, there's still going to be, changes and things like that. But I feel like my voice has matured earlier than some people as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you've just got to keep looking after it, and keep training it.
Of course you do, yeah.
And see what happens. But it's quite exciting, really, isn't it? So every time
do you have any like routines to look after your voice? I know a lot of singers I know, it's always honey and lemon.
Yeah, no, I'm not so, I mean, some people are so like religious with everything, isn't it? It's like no doing this, no doing this, no doing this. But I mean, I'm not like that, but I'd always I think a big thing is just like always warming up as well and things like that, because really looking after it, and
it's a muscle, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is so important. And then just doing the right thing when you're singing as well, isn't it? Because it's easy to be like, if you know what it's like, getting to an end of like a load of run of dates and stuff. Yeah. Like, I just want to warm up. Like, I just go on and sing and so you've just got to keep with it.
Absolutely.
Don't give it up, because it's important, isn't it? I mean, it's your voice goes, you damage your voice, then of course that's it, isn't it? So
seeing as you've done this then for such a long time, since you were really young, you've kind of sung forever.
Yeah.
What advice if you could go back in time and speak to your younger self, what age would you go to, and what advice would you give yourself, do you think? Or are you happy with the way things have gone? Would you change anything?
Yeah, no, I think just sort of believing in myself would be a big one as well. And like to anybody else that's listening is a big one, kind of. Definitely.
I want to point that out as well, man. That absolutely. I know we kind of touched on confidence, but that is the most important thing. If you love it, believe in yourself. Don't care about what other people say.
Yeah, it's so true. And I've only I'm getting to that now, really. Like, I've always been like not had huge, not that I've thought that I'm not good or anything, but I've never had that kind of confidence, like I know that I can sing and that kind of thing. I've always thought, oh, I'm not that good, or I've always been like that, but that's just the way I am. And I think
you sound humble.
It's a nice way to be as well, though, isn't it? Because when you meet people and they're like, my vocal capability is much better than yours, and it's like there's no need to be like that. We're all different. It's not like you're better or you're worse. We're all just different, no singers sound the same, and that's what's nice, isn't it? Because you can kind of like work with these people and you get these different sounds, and it's great. But I think the confidence thing is a big one, and it's easy to say, isn't it? It's like, just believe in yourself, be confident, like but that's the hardest thing to do, isn't it? It really is, but it makes it easier, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So I think I'd go back to that kind of age when I started, doing had to do a few exams and things like that, and then I started doing, and you sort of like that imposter syndrome, when I started to actually gig, and I got a couple of bigger gigs, and I was in these venues, I was like, I so shouldn't be, like I did the National Concert Hall of Ireland, I remember that, which was amazing, and it sold out, and it was just the most amazing experience ever. But I was still thinking like, but this is really classical, and I'm not very good, and I'm still young, and you still think like that, which is fine, but it's just thinking, look, you've been asked to perform here.
You're there already.
And everybody's come to see you. Just enjoy it.
Embrace
enjoy the ride.
That moment.
I think that's a good way, actually, isn't it? Say enjoy the ride. I love that when people say that, of the journey. Just take what comes. Just and do everything as well. Like take up all opportunities. I think so, and that's what I've always been told, and I've done that, and I think that's a huge thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
To be like, I think I'm a bit beyond that now, or whatever.
Come on.
It's just
no. Otherwise, why are you doing it for?
Exactly. Just enjoy it and take everything you can. Yeah. And
I think it's important if you're in entertainment, full stop. Whether you're a singer or a dancer, doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. If you have a gift, it's your responsibility to give it to other people. That's why we do it. Yeah.
No, it really is. Yeah, it's so true. Why kind of hide it? And that brings back to talking to other people as well. Like, things keep coming up, but people saying, it's just really selfish if you hide it and keep it to yourself. Get it out there, let people enjoy it. And,
absolutely.
Yeah, and share it with everyone, because they create memories. It's the best, isn't it, when you look at your audience and you can kind of see, they're sort of singing along, or you might have people they're chuckling, or they're like like that, and you think that's memory instantly. They're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah,
and that's a beautiful feeling. Like, that's the kind of only selfish part of our job, isn't it?
Yeah,
When we're looking at people and you kind of think, I love that I'm giving you that moment right now.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love that, and it's great when you can see, you know, those shows where you can see the audience, like you can see their faces, and you think, oh look, or like people are like just before you come on, people are taking selfies together, and they're obviously like posting about it. Oh, we're here, and they've all dressed up, and they might have been to dinner before.
Of course.
And that's weird, but that's one of the people always say, what do you enjoy about your job? And I'm like, I really like that idea. You know, when you see people arriving in their cars, they've obviously all met up and they've come together, they've been to dinner, they've all got dressed together, they may have had some drinks somewhere, and like that thought is just great. They've all done that just around your show. And it's like, oh, you've created a memory. And
I had a friend of mine, Wayne Dobson. He's a magician from back in the day. He's had his own TV show. He's an amazing magician. And he said to me when I first did my first theatre show, he said, what are you doing with the lights? And I said, well, obviously I want the theatre quite dark to create an atmosphere. And he said, don't do that. Have the lights on. And it went past everything I ever believed in creating an atmosphere with light. I couldn't disagree with him more.
Wow,
and one night I tried it and I kept the lights on, and it was one of the best shows I've ever had.
Oh, really?
It was a real shock. Because I could see them and I could see where they were enjoying it. So I think I subconsciously gave more. Yeah, but I think people like to see other people laughing and watch them kind of react. I think people enjoy it more.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yeah,
really strange thing to say, and I know it's a bit of a segue, but it really made a difference.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That makes you think, doesn't it? And when you can see people enjoy it, it's true, isn't it?
It's like when you're at a wedding and no one wants to get up and dance. You have to wait to watch the first person get up, and then you go, oh, YMCA, let's go. Yeah, they love it.
It's so funny. Yeah, no, it's true. And you don't realise, actually, if people are reacting, then like you say, you give more. You suddenly just instantly think, right, they're enjoying
they're loving it.
I'm on it now. Yeah, that's it. You do, don't you? You're like, this little, here we go. Yeah, I've got them. Yeah.
So who would you like to work with? Because you've worked with some amazing people, Thomas. Do you want to do a bit of a name drop?
Yeah.
Should we do it?
Oh, if you want.
Shameless plug it, man. Do it.
Yeah. No, the weirdest thing is that during lockdown is like when I got to work with the most amazing people. I mean, I've said that to people. They're like, are you sure about that? I'm like, yeah, no, I have. Like the wonders of Zoom, you know. But basically, just people have had time to work with each other as well.
Yeah,
you know,
of
they've
course.
not been. So I'm normally touring throughout the summer. They're normally doing like worldwide stupid stadium tours, and they're just like, who even are you? Know what's I don't even know what my phone is at the moment. I don't check messages, you know. So I thought I really want to take advantage of this. What am I going to do? Because I can't tour. So I just started doing lots of like recording. You know, I'd record files in my home studio, and they would record in a studio and send it over. And then I started doing a bit of a chat show as well. You know, so I started a radio show that's every Saturday. So I've still kept it going.
Oh, that's great! Saturday. What's the radio show? What's it on?
It's
plug it.
Yeah, so it's Thomas Cameron Radio Show. Obviously, it says what it is on the tin. But it's on Ocean City Radio, so it's based in Plymouth. But I sort of do it from home as well in the home studio. But it's been amazing because it's Saturday mornings 9 to 11, and I have normally 1 or 2 guests on the show, and you know I've just met some amazing people. You know, saying about name dropping, but people like Susie Quattro, like just love that woman. But the weird thing is that I've just become friends with them. That's the weirdest thing, you know, like just talk to them on. Amazing.
Come on, man.
Like and I just sit there on Zoom. I mean, we chatted on Zoom 3 or 4 times throughout lockdown.
Wow.
And we chatted and like both for the show and just socially, you know, and stuff. And just like Spandau Ballet, you know, Steve Norman from Spandau Ballet, he's setting them up and plays saxophone for them. Loveliest guy, amazing. And a big one for me was Liz Mitchell, who's the singer for Boney M, like the original singer. So she wrote, all the songs, you know, Rasputin and all of that.
Way.
Yeah, and I'm sat there like, what is like my life is so
man.
weird, and like she'll text and be like, how's things? And I'm just like, this is just, I'm still like, I'm not, you know, it's just like it's amazing. Like these people,
that is great.
But you know, they're these huge superstars, and they've done everything you can possibly do, but they're just the nicest people. And if I've sort of promoted their new stuff and I've just stayed in touch and just check in regularly, you know, it's that kind of thing like, I hope you're doing all right, I hope things are well, I hope the
being
tours,
a friend, that's called, isn't it?
Exactly, and they're just the same, you know, they're all people. But
and I like the fact that I think you've said it there, man, for me, the fact that you text them.
Yeah.
You don't Facebook message them.
Yeah.
You text them.
Yeah. And
I hate this world of social media at the moment.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
And, you know, it just gets lost as well, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? So it's that personal thing, but the amazing thing is, you know, that we're all coming together to work together, and I'm doing a charity single with them all now, which is really exciting.
Really?
So,
wow, no way.
Yeah, so
that's
just
amazing
the kind of,
news.
and it's that, not just that, book it with the agent, have a quick chat for 20 minutes, put it on the show, cheers, like, you don't really know each other. It's that kind of thing. We've built this relationship, and so every year I do a charity single, and I normally involve a primary school as well, so they sing on the chorus, which is lovely, and it's amazing. And I thought this year I want to kind of involve the like celebrities that I've got to meet and get to know, you know, and also to help raise money for charity, you know. So we're doing it for the Bristol Children's Hospital, is where I was when I was younger. An amazing place. So yeah, it's just been mad, and these people are just the most amazing people, because I've become like more of an artist. I know myself more, you know what I mean? Like you said, you just want to learn, talk to people, learn from people, doing this kind of thing. It's been the same thing. I've never learnt so much in my life in this space of this lockdown. Just spend, you know, like what you can learn an hour on Zoom with Susie Quattro is quite unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like,
is she as beautiful as she looks on TV?
Yeah,
she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she? Yeah, with a jumpsuit and she's amazing.
Stunning. What a woman.
Yeah, just like what the things she's done as well. And the stories, just hilarious. But what I love about her, she's another one, just knows, she's like, I know that I've been successful, you know, I know that I'm good at what I do. I'm not going to take any rubbish. Here you go. This is where I am, and it's great. But it's talking to people that are like my family's heroes as well, which has been really lovely. And kind of
does your mum get really excited? Going, I've just had a chat with Susie Quattro.
So
I'm like,
it.
oh my god,
she's so funny. The biggest one was my mum's like a huge, like ridiculously huge, had the posters and everything, fan of Carol Decker to Pow.
Wow.
And she's somebody I've spoken to a lot in lockdown, and she's doing the charity single with me, so I'll be singing with her soon. And
do you ever get on the Zoom and your mum's in the background going, hello?
I said, why don't you hide in the corner? She's like, I would die. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's so funny. But I can remember just little things like that means a lot to give back to that, you know. So I said to, like, once I got to know her a bit more, Carol was like, look, my mum's a huge fan, and she did her a little video message and just things like that, and it's just lovely. And then they're amazing people. So it's been so fun.
Thomas, man, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you, because I've heard a lot of your stuff, and you deserve it immensely. You genuinely do. But before we go, listen, do me one last thing. Tell me, what's next for Thomas Cameron? What have you got coming up? Have you got a show? Are you doing more tours? Have you got some theatres booked? Have you got some dates? Where can people find out about you? Hit us up.
Definitely, yeah. Well, the main thing is new music. I mean, people are desperate for it. The people are messaging, album, where's the album? And obviously, we've had the situation, that's what I like to call it. We won't name it, but that's obviously preventing me. I was meant to be in the studio sort of beginning of last year. But yeah, that's going to be my main project. And trying to get a bit of a collaboration album kind of going, you know, with some of these people. And obviously, the charity single is my biggest project at the moment.
Okay.
So I've got some great people that are playing on it, and it's going to be a Queen cover we're going to do. So
really?
Yeah, so nobody knows about it yet. So
is that an exclusive?
Exclusive, let's call it that. So it's just going to be fun, get everybody, some awesome people on it.
Amazing.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't believe I'm going to be singing with them, and some instrumentalists from like some of the biggest bands ever.
Wow.
So it's going to be great fun. So that's going to be kind of keep me busy till Christmas, and we'll get that out sort of early December, hopefully. Okay. And hopefully raise some money for the amazing charity.
And where can we find out about that? Do you have a website?
So website is thomascamerontenor.com.
Amazing.
So that's what is on the tin
we'll
again.
Put it there.
Yes, and also social media as well, which is always on social media, posting about tour dates, and you can obviously get the link for the song and stuff like that. And then you'll see the chat show. There's all you can find the link with all the videos of me chatting to these people we've talked about. So it's quite fun. It's literally, there's no frills. It's just us sat on Zoom chatting, and it's just like being a fly on the wall, just talking about, you know, how Susie Quattro became Susie Quattro kind of thing. And it's and it's nice because we're both musicians normally, you know, so we're just fully nerding out and talking about, you know, how did you find that, or you know what I mean, and that kind of thing. It's lush. It's really nice. So it's good, and that's what's to come really. And obviously getting back on the road, we'll hopefully have a full proper summer tour next year, which we couldn't do this year. So that'd be amazing, getting into some nice
I bet you
theatres.
can't wait to get back on stage, can you?
Can't wait. Yeah, no, I did a sort of 10 dates in summer, which normally would be like 3 times that. But just that was some amazing audiences.
Did you find that when you got on there, people were sat there going, "We need this"?
Yes.
Finally, we're back.
Like people actually getting up. I can remember doing a show in Manchester, and people were actually like standing up and like whooping and stuff. That's never happened before, because people are like, "We're allowed out. We can actually hear someone's voice." So they were just going mental, and they had no like inhibitions whatsoever. Like, I don't care. Just get up and shout.
Rockstar.
That was the best feeling. Yeah, so can't wait till I think next year when it's properly, you know, hopefully, you know, everybody's going to be more relaxed and confident, and it'll be a full tour. We'll all be in the swing of it, and like you as well. I'm sure you're excited to get back out there properly.
No, not really. No, don't want to do it. No,
absolutely.
No. Yeah, I've got some exciting things coming, but I'm not allowed to say what they are yet. So
exactly. Yeah, but that will keep them excited.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see.
Watch this space.
Watch this space.
Let's just swap around.
Come on, mate. So listen, before I go, I want to say I love your socks. I'm a big sock fan. They're really beautiful.
With a bit of pink. Yeah.
Love them.
How did you notice that? I'm quite impressed.
I'm a big sock fan.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, it's important. Why wear Just
Love a
plain
nice
socks
sock.
when you can wear.
I've got my David Bowie socks on today, actually.
Oh my, yeah. Oh,
Like a bit of Bowie?
yeah. Oh yeah. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Unbelievable. Yeah. What
Thomas
man.
Cameron, you're an amazing man, a hero and a gent, and
thank
it's
you.
so lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on to
Thank you
chat.
for supporting me. It means a lot,
No,
honestly.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I think what you do is amazing. I can't
Thank
wait to
you.
hear this new single. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you keep an eye out, and we'll let you know as soon as this single is coming. And again, check his website if you want to go to any tour dates. In the meanwhile, Thomas Cameron, you're a hero. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Matt Edwards. This has been Check 1 2. Meow. See you soon.